Identifying the unidentified flying object. As you know, spacecrafts visiting from other planets come in all shapes and sizes, and their shapes are not always regular, and they're not always a flying saucer in shape, but in general the most common shape is a flying saucer. There are the common recognizable shapes, such as spheres, spheroids and pyramids. I have come up with a few points which would help provide you with your evidence of your visit, and how to debunk your own observations of what is authentic or not and what is questionable. The subject itself gets scrutinized, especially by critics who have never experienced themselves, and also governments and authorities tend to censor such evidence. For example, what happened to me. I had experienced an observation, and managed to film it. I uploaded the observation data, with written data, of the time and place of the observation, not always, but it is recommended. My YouTube channel was hacked, and then shut down. I still had the video footage, but the attached text data had been lost, and I cannot remember exactly all the details, so when I re-uploaded them, they were just your average UFO videos. Some people who are overcritical tend to dismiss what they have seen as unknown, and are happy to stipulate, even when their provided evidence in most cases are just word and mouth and illustration, do sum up to the criteria of being extraterrestrial and not terrestrial. Also to note that not all vehicles that appear extraterrestrial are extraterrestrial but terrestrial, and have been constructed by the industrial military complex and secret space agencies of this planet. So when an object, particularly a vehicle that has been identified as foreign, it would have to go further analysis by the observer to analyze if it is a secret terrestrial vehicle or extraterrestrial. Mere observations alone is clearly not enough evidence in the eyes of those who never experienced anything, and even questionable to those who have if stories contain different details as compared to a lot of stories. Even those who have but still in question of their observations, even if it is illustrations, as they would easily dismiss it as imagination. Word-of-mouth information is never exact, and can be perceived differently and imagined differently by the reader of the critic of the evidence, basic ally relying on word and mouth. The validity of the evidence varies, and tends to be more acceptable by those who had an experience that is similar, and not of that is different. In most cases of this evidence, people tend to lie and make stories up, which sadly erases total authenticity of the information, and gets looked at as a lie when a specific experience was true. In this scenario, people end up believing rather than understanding if they experienced a similar situation, since words and illustrations are poor evidence, and in the eyes of the critics, it's no evidence at all, and often refer to fields of psychiatry and psychology other than ufology, and often truthful people get antagonized. Photo and video evidence of the observation and experience does provide more validity and evidence to a particular experience. However, there are many hoaxers out there as well that renders photo and video evidence as not good evidence. Hoaxing in the past used to use trick photography. Nowadays it's CGI. One of the well-known hoaxers of the past was Billy, and some people still believe his so-called evidences are genuine, and his genuine material were old UFO technology which was developed in WW2 by the German Virile Society, which are the same as that of Adamski. Their actions have made it difficult for people like myself and others who have genuine evidence, and we get dismissed and thrown automatically in a dog box by critics, because of these past lies. But it is recommended to provide photo and video evidence of your experience. It is understandable that having a visit from space is unpredictable, and one does not always have their camera at hand, and often good camera equipment is expensive and bulky. These events normally happen out of the blue, just about like anything. Sometimes we are urged via telepathy to wander out, and often when the experience is basically the same, where the vehicles are far away in the sky, we get bored and often force ourselves to ignore the telepathic urges and focus on something else, thinking the experience won't be that epic or close enough to get a good shot of evidence, that would be good evidence that would even give the critics something to think about. Even better if one gets a free ride or meet the people inside these vehicles, even better leaving Earth for good, and not having to worry about critics, since exploring life in space and experiencing the cosmic cultures becomes more exciting than random boring visits. Whoopee lights in the sky. So old school, and when providing the lights in the sky as evidence, it is not enough evidence in the eyes of the critics, as, what I don't understand goes no further than lights in the sky thingies and deny any possible extraterrestrial relationship or even secret Earth technology. So I have a few points and things when or should you observe something in the sky. 1. Do you hear any noise, like that of an engine, drone, whirring or rocket noise? If so, then the object is your everyday aircraft, and from its shape and sound it can be identified as a helicopter, a plane, a passenger jet, an army jet and so on. So no point in filming or taking a photo unless you are plane spotting. Some people on YouTube blatantly upload videos of these and call them extraterrestrial spacecrafts. If there is a noise that is of tone or musical inclined like the Godzilla sounds that have been happening over the past 3 years, it is most likely extraterrestrial. 2. Distance and shape. Daytime/daylight. How far is it and what is its shape? Is there motion on the object, such as spinning or stationary? Is it reflecting sunlight or emitting its own light that it glows even in daylight? What is its paths of travel? Does a tree appear and disappear in different parts in the sky? Are there more than one? Does it leave chemtrails and vapor trails? If it looks like a plane or a helicopter, then it is, and if it is leaving contrails and chemtrails, it is from Earth. If it looks other than that, then it must be studied further. You have 2 possible options: top secret military or extraterrestrial. The military have developed unusual and often foreign-looking vehicles which can be misidentified as extraterrestrial. Some of the recent robotic drones and the TR-3B are actually anti-gravity Earth-based military vehicles. The TR-3B is triangular in shape and is a type of Earth-based flying saucer that generates an anti-gravity lift of lowering its weight by the combined frequencies of electrostatic, generated by the spin of a liquid metal-like substance like mercury, kind of like the Earth's magma contributing to its relative gravity, and electromagnetic fields, toroid electromagnetic coils. Flying saucers have been constructed here on Earth since the 1940s, when Maria Orrisk had been the original designer or inventor of these, and these were saucers called the Viril Crafts and the Hornby, which appear in some Billion's so-called evidence relating to the Palladians and Adamski's Venetians, were in fact German vehicles, and later photos were actually flying wedding cakes. If they appear spherical and close and move with the wind, then they are balloons. If they are other than that, then they are most likely to be extraterrestrial, such as in the case of flying pyramids. If they emit light stronger than or the same as the sunlight, then they are most likely to be extraterrestrial, the same as if they disappear and reappear, make rapid movements. 3. The distance and shape, evening/nighttime, is it stationary or moving? Does it move rapidly or just cruising? Does it have flashing lights? If it was flashing lights, where are they positioned? Does it have a stationary light? Is it making noise? Are there more lights creating a specific shape? Same applies to the above in most cases, in regards to noise. If there is no noise and it's moving in a cruising direction with 2 flashing lights, white/red/green, on either side of a single or no stationary light, and it is quite a distance, it is a passenger airliner. If it's moving with the wind direction and it's flickering orange and rather near to the ground, it is a Chinese lantern, same effect and feel as balloons. If it is far beyond the clouds, above them and stationary, it could be a planet. It would be handy to have a smartphone with star chart to validate if it is a planet or not, else it can be rather tricky, and if you choose to be critical, dismiss it as a planet. If it appears like a bright star and clouds move above it, it is most likely extraterrestrial. If it has a distinct saucer-shaped glow and a flashing light on top, it is most likely to be extraterrestrial. Also take note of a larger craft in the vicinity, since these casual cruisers tend to come out of a larger stationary craft, which rapidly moves, appears or disappears out of thin air with a bright flash, sometimes does not get captured by camera due to shutter speeds, in most occasions. If it is above the clouds and cruises as if in orbit, it most likely is a satellite or the space station. If it changes colors, it is most likely to be extraterrestrial. I mentioned the most likely to be extraterrestrial, since military UFOs have the same aspects. Instinct and telepathy can also help to distinguish between the two. If they are close up that you're able to see the shape within the glow, one can make a better observation. If you see three lights and no triangular mass in the center of the three, it is most definitely extraterrestrial. If you see a triangular dark mass, it is the TR-3B, or if you see lights arranged on a black mass, it is another military one, as spotted in Arizona Phoenix lights. Much love and huggles, Namaste.
I'm trying to.
There, look, it's through. It's gonna get over this tree. And
I don't know if it's actually bright enough. It's too far. Fucking shit camera again.
Get it? Look, it's got a thing on the top of it. Look.
Yeah, I see that.
It's like a circle thing, and then somebody, as if something's on top of it. Can you see that? Or is it
Yeah.
me?
No, I see it.
It's gonna crash into this one.
It's just my camera. It's just a fucking iPod camera.
You need to get a good camera.
I know.
That was really something. I thought it was a caravan.
Where's thingy gone?
Yeah, it's blending in with the wall.